Hello, all you wonderful Rise of Kingdoms players out there. This is Dragothien here, and today we're going to continue our top 8 troop type commander series, and we're going to extend this into garrisons and rallies and different other leadership type things as well. But I wanted to complete basically the main 3 troop types. We've already done infantry, we've already done cav. Now we're going to do archers, the top 8 legendary archers in the game. The idea behind this video is to show you what to focus on if you want to be an archer player. So if you want to be a archer focused city, archer focused player, you want to know where to invest your gold sculptures, where to invest your gems when it comes to the wheel, where to invest your, spending, or whether to invest your time for MGE. This guide should give you what you need to know. Now, before I decided to make this, because I had it all tiered up and teed up right after I'd made the Cav video, but I wanted to get Hova's approval on this one because he's my archer guy. Okay, like I'm up, down, and sideways on all the infantry and Cav, and I'm obviously very knowledgeable on the archer commanders as well. But the latest ones, Nebu and Cyrus, I didn't have any personal experience, which when I bring you videos on this channel, it's usually from personal experience using them in the battlefield for hundreds of hours so that you guys know what to use. Well, I didn't have that with Nebu and Cyrus. I wanted to have a trusted, knowledgeable approval for my list, and sure enough, Hova was able to give me this stamp of approval on this ranker for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump right in, and I've already got my boy YSG up on the screen, and he is still the #1 archer commander. He is still, in my opinion, the #1 commander that you should max in this game. And this is an open field ranker list, but yeah, he just does everything. So not only does he do everything, he does everything really well. So that's why he should be your first max on the archer list, but certainly in the game, I think he's the best one to have. He just does everything so well. Very versatile. But open field wise, he just pumps out a ton of damage. He augments skill damage for his damage that he does. He does rage generation with his second skill. The archer attack bonus of 100% for 3 seconds is noticeable and effective. And he's good for garrison. He's got a garrison skill. I mean, he just does everything really well. He's got a circular AoE. Not many other commanders have that in the game. So YSG is numero uno, #1. #2. This one kind of shot up the list a little bit. I thought that, I would probably have her maybe 3rd or 4th, but I ended up looking at the list and I'm like, well, what do we need open field, right? And this applies to open field for KVK. This applies to open field for Arc. And really where Tamira shines is in Arc for sure, but also in KVK as well. She just does something that no other commander does. And, when we're looking at what you should be maxing, especially when it comes to archers, right? Archers are really 2 things. You've got massive skill damage, and you've got crowd control / augmentation. So you've got debuffs, you've got buffs, you've got silences, you've got just all these different things that augment the battlefield. Well, Tamiris does that to a T when you're talking about a murder ball. And usually when you're talking about open field archers and just open field in general, you're all going to be targeting one target. And what does Tamiris do? Well, we say, let's see, every second I'm going to do a 3% skill damage ability, so where you're going to take 3% more skill damage from everybody hitting you. And I'm going to stack that anywhere between, depending on who you pair her with, 9 to 12, 13 times. It could be even more if you pair her with Artemisia, who could silence herself. But it could be even more. So, usually you're sitting around that 30 to 36% skill damage debuff on top of all your other buffs, on top of the fact that she has a very nice skill damage here that stacks up with more poison stacks. She's got decent counterattack damage. She's got extra attack against cavalry units, which again, cav are the counter to archers. So she just does everything really well. She's got great attack and attack bonuses and defense reduction of the target. Again, crowd control, augmentation, debuffs. That's what archers do really, really well. And she helps be a little less squishy with the counterattack damage, which is nice. But ultimately, Tamiris, her main use, debuffing the crap out of a target, both defense reduction and skill damage taken increase. She's number 2. Number 3. Number 3 through number 5 got really dicey for me, and this is why I really wanted to get Hova's approval. We're going to go with Ramses. Now, Ramses was a commander that came out and people were kind of unsure. We thought he was really good, and he is. He's one of the best archer commanders in the game, top 3, in my opinion. And reason being is because of not only the immense amount, again, of skill damage that he pumps out, more defense reduction. And again, this is an active skill, guys. Active skills stack with, say if we looked at Tamiris again, right? Passive skills. So active skills stack with passive skills. That means you can really debuff the crap out of a target with archers. So again, you've got the first skill here, Ceremony of Karnak, tons of skill damage and defense reduction for 2 seconds. You've also got more archer attack bonuses. You've got archer attack bonuses. You've got archer attack bonuses. You've got skill damage taken reductions. You've got, I mean, this is basically the Saladin of the archer world. And on top of that, again, to make him even more Saladin or more woke Saladin, he has a heal immune effect. So not even reducing the amount healed or the healing effect enhancement, you're just straight blocking that shit. Like, you're just straight blocking it if you can time it right. Meanwhile, it is inflicted with a heal immune effect for 2 seconds. So if you're targeting Richard, if you're targeting Takeda, if you're targeting Double C, if you're targeting Freddy, any commander in the game that heals and they're about to heal and you hit them with your main skill with an expertise Ramses, you will effectively block their heal, which is kind of nice. That basically neuters Richard. I mean, it makes him a non-shielding Charles. How about that? So Ramses, number 3, very, very valuable. Number 4, again, 3 through 5 were kind of like, what do I do? But I think we have to go with really the best rallier for archers in the game right now, and that's Nebuchadnezzar. Again, this is an open field guide, but almost everything he does is really good for the open field. And again, when you pair him with a Ramses or a YSG or a Tamiris even, or Artemisia, or like, these are all really good combos. Great 5-target forward-facing fan shape damage on the first skill. Second skill led archers defense bonus, and again, making archers tanky again, right? Or for the first time ever, is what Nebuchadnezzar is kind of doing. He makes them tanky, but also still pumping out a ton of damage. The third skill is a rallying skill, so it doesn't really take effect too much there. But the fourth skill, troops level as commander gain more damage, 15% bonus, and each normal attack reduces the target's rage by 100. You have a 10% chance. That's huge. That's huge. You're basically disabling your target. That's really, really solid. That's taking away basically the entire skill tree. If you're taking away a feral nature that just popped and this triggers, you took away their feral nature. You're just making it to where everything just kind of slows down around you, which is nice. And then finally, again, augmenting the primary skill, more skill damage on top of that. I think this is a really good, solid commander for the open field. And again, we had Ramses at the beginning at 3, Nebu at 4, and then with 5, we're going to go Artemisia. Now, Artemisia could be number 3. I swear to God, she could. Artemisia could be 3, 4, or 5. And I ended up putting her at 5. The only reason I did that is because of her, it's not her expertise. Hold on a sec. Have a 10% chance to, no, her expertise is good. And cause the target to deal. Yeah, no, this is it. Her expertise. So there's tons of skill damage in the open field. Absolutely tons. That's what you bring to the open field. In a murder ball, you want maximum burst DPS, and the best way to do that is with skill damage. And sure enough, here we are with Artemisia having really, I mean, shoot, why? Normal attacks have a 10% chance to deal additional damage per second, 400 for 3 seconds. So that's decent enough to not avoid it, that's 1200 damage factor. That's a decent amount of damage. The problem is you're causing your target to deal an extra 15% skill damage for those 3 seconds as well. And if they are in the process of starting their skill cycle, that means you're going to get 2 full blast skills right to the face with 15% extra skill damage just because of your expertise. So this is the only reason that I put her at 5 instead of 3, because everything else looks really, really good. First skill, 1800 skill damage AoE. Very, very strong. Very strong. You deal a little damage to yourself. The 300, that's a thing, okay? But it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's worth the 1800 AoE damage whenever you're taking that 300. Also, defense and health bonus, making her extra tanky. The third skill is a garrison skill, so this doesn't really matter for open field. Fourth skill, again, a little weird, but it does so much damage for you. When this commander's rage meter reaches 80%, you can silence yourself. It's a possibility for 3 seconds, but at the same time, grant your troops 25% up to 50% increased damage for 5 seconds. That means your first skill of Artemisia and the first skill of whatever other commander you are using, if this triggers Queen of Caria, you will have 50% stacked because it's passive on top of everything else that you've already got skill damage bonus wise. This is just a meat shredder when it comes to pairing up with YSG, pairing up with Nebu, pairing up with even Ramses is a great pair for Artemisia. And then also Cyrus is another one that would be a very good pair for Artemisia. She just does so much damage. She does so much damage, but she also can shoot herself in the foot with her expertise. Even her fourth skill, while it is the 50% damage, you're silencing yourself for 3 seconds. That's 3 seconds of delayed damage. That's kind of a thing. You're also slitting your wrist a little bit with this damage factor of 300 that goes against your own troops. But again, it's mostly slightly wounded, so take it for what it is. She's number 5 on my list. Again, could be 3, 4, or 5, but I really think Ramses and Nebu are just a little bit better because they don't shoot themselves in the foot. Number 6, I've got Cyrus. Cyrus looked like he was going to be the open field champion. He looked like he was going to be an amazing open field archer commander, and he is. He's a really good commander. He's good for open field. His skill damage is on point. You also cause increased damage taken increase. Now, this is additional damage only. It's not just damage. So, I'm sorry. I've got to take a swig. My throat's drying up. This is additional damage taken increase, not just damage taken increase. You have commanders like Minna, where they have a 30% damage taken increase, where all damage types, everything damage related, increased damage by 30%. Cyrus is only additional damage taken, so you have to pair him with somebody like Ramses or Freddy or Osman or anybody that uses those additional skill damage monikers. Okay, it won't apply for all skill damage types. We have tested it in the battle report. It specifically says it's got its own special debuff, and it specifically says additional skill or additional damage taken increase. So that's a knock. And 1400 skill damage factor is not bad, but it's only a single target. It's not AoE. And again, single targets, you want to see those numbers be a little bit higher, especially for open field, because open field, you're going to be facing a dozen targets or 50 targets or 5 targets. You want to have as much damage pumping out as possible. And if it is a single target, you want it to be in the 1800 to 2000 range, whereas, again, 1400 is just a little subpar. Number 2 on Cyrus, Battle of Thimbra, or Thimbra. You have increased march speed and attack. Not too bad. Here's some more additional damage, but again, the number is just really kind of small. It's underwhelming. It's underwhelming. The skill damage reduction is a big deal. While the damage over time is in effect, the target deals 20% up to 40% reduced skill damage. That's a huge deal. That's kind of like Williams' deal where he nerfs skill damage bonuses, or yeah, bonuses in general. But 40% skill damage reduction is a big deal. But it's a 10% chance to proc for 3 seconds. And usually those things tend to proc once, maybe twice in a 10-second period, but usually around once. Usually around once per 10 seconds, which is nice. It's 30% of the time. You'll get that skill damage reduction. You'll get the extra damage factor, but it's basically 750 damage factor, and it's 10% chance. And you can't guarantee that skill damage reduction is gonna be on the time where they actually are casting their skills. So really just hard to manage that. Not really easy thing to do. And then finally on the 4th skill, when you're on the map, more skill damage, which is nice. And again, this is all buffed by his first skill, which is again nice. 15%, up to 20% here is not bad. 10% to 20%, excuse me, is not bad. But again, it's just not enough for me, especially single target. Everything's single target except for the 4th skill here. This is a circular AoE, which is very, very nice. Can trigger once every 5 seconds, and for 3 targets there. Whereas this one here, again, is only a single target. It's a 10% chance, and that's it. And then final skill, doing increased attack and defense for 3 seconds. 50 rage gain, also very, very nice. Just everything here was just a little underwhelming in my opinion. I think that I actually, whenever we first started talking, when I was passing some of this stuff through Hova, I had Cyrus rated a little bit higher because all of his skills look like they should be, when it comes to open field, like really, really good. But then as we were talking through it, and the criteria for the damage taken increase, which to me really set him over the top at the beginning, I thought that was going to affect all damage. Did not read the additional part. So additional, that really severely narrows the commanders that can take advantage of that. And ultimately, again, his particular damage output compared to, say, again, an Artemisia, a Nebu, a Ramses, a Tamiris, a YSG, those are all just going to out pump damage versus Cyrus. So he is going to be number 6. Number 7. Open field, guys. Open field. Open field. What are we doing here? What are we doing with our life? We're going to go El Cid. And again, I think traditionally he's been like the joke of being the worst legendary commander ever in the game for the longest time, 2 years plus. But he does a lot of things that are nice. One of which is the disable that he does. Again, you're stopping both active and normal attacks from happening for a grand total of 1 second. So a little underwhelming on that, which is why he's 7th and not 3rd, right? Because and also, again, the direct damage factor is only 1,000. He does have an additional 10% chance to pump another 1,000 skill damage out, but again, underwhelming. Even Alex's is higher than this. And then, again, his 3rd skill, March Speed, defense bonuses, all nice, but again, the numbers are very underwhelming. You see 40% defense on Nebu. You see 30% defense on Ramses. I mean, you see these bigger numbers. Versus El Cid, he's got 20%. And he's got a nice little heal here. I'm sorry, not heal. Damage bonus here, and then March Speed. 50% troops remaining only, though. So when you start the battle off, this 4th skill does absolutely nothing. And then the 5th skill, again, the numbers are just very, very small. 5% increased attack, 5% increased defense, and 2% increased damage to infantry units. Number 7, that's what number 7 looks like. And then finally, number 8, somebody I have maxed. Eduardo of Woodstock. Edward of Woodstock. So, Edward, it's really just hard. It's hard for me because I like Edward. I maxed him. He has some of the biggest damage in the game. It just takes forever. It takes forever to happen. Even with YSG, it takes forever. And when somebody sees an Edward on the field, they just mow him down because he has absolutely 0 defense bonuses. He's got some health bonuses here while on the map. 30% health bonus and March Speed, which is nice. But he has skill damage bonus of 25% and increased damage for infantry as well. Archer attack bonus of 40%, very nice. And then additionally, for 2 seconds after using an active skill, all your normal attacks and counterattacks deal 50% increased damage as well. Son of Satan, am I? Yes, you are. So here's the deal. He's just so squishy. He's just so squishy. And with the prevalence of how much cav is out there, even infantry or certainly other archers are going to absolutely mow Edward down. He just takes so long to cast his skill. As good as this first skill is, as large of damage as this first skill is, it takes forever for it to cast at the beginning. Then he loses 300 rage and has to start from scratch anyway. So then that's basically 3 seconds extra. 3 seconds extra. We did the rage video, right? It's usually around 100 rage per second. That's 3 seconds you're losing on top of everything else. So even if you get rejuvenate and even if you get feral nature to proc once or twice, you're still behind. You're still behind. And not to mention, again, 1,350 rage requirement. That's why it takes so long. So he is number 8 on my list of open field archer commanders. He's one of the better looking commanders in the game as far as his armor and things like that, but in practice open field, while he does perform decently well in the open field, all the rest, in my opinion, just do better. And they also do more things for you as well as your group that you're fighting with. So again, to recap, YSG, number 1. Number 2 is Tamiris. Number 3 is Ramses. Number 4 is Nebu. Number 5, Artemisia. Number 6, Cyrus. Number 7, El Cid. And number 8, your boy Edward. So, hope you've enjoyed. Hope it's been helpful. Hopefully all you archer players out there now know who to target for what purpose so that you can max out the commanders that you need to be the most effective on the open field. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one and take care.